Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Starsector, and we are working through the tutorial. And right now, we need to visit Tetra. There is a boneyard there. That is a ship graveyard, basically. And we need to get some ships. We're being told by the commander that we can effectively take what we want there because that is how desperate they are for our assistance. Okay, well, we will head in that direction. I'm going to go ahead and speed up time a little bit, but now we're going to slow down because I want to pass through this safely. And, oh, we're starting to see some of them. So we're going to click right here to stop, and we're going to turn off the suspended burn. We simply don't need it. And we're going to start looking at ships. So let's start with, there's several here. Let's start with this one. It's the close one. We can explore it. Salvage crews boarding the wreck discover that many essential systems are undamaged and the ship could be restored to basic functionality. That's great. It is a light tanker, so it basically carries fuel. That's its job. We can consider recovering it. If we recover it, so we have 237 supplies, and we have 563 crew available, and about 300 of them are in use right now. So we have 263 free crewmen. If we click this, it'll tell us how much it goes up. 5. We will use 5 more crewmen, and we use 3 supplies to get the ship so that we can use it. Those are fine. We're going to do that. We'll recover it. We just added a ship to our fleet, and we'll leave. Now we're going to go to this one. Oh, yes, this is a notice you'll get relatively frequently, actually. It's your combat readiness is below a standard amount, and that can be dangerous. Deploying these ships in combat is likely to cause critical malfunctions, dealing damage, disabling some weapons and engines for the duration of the battle, and causing further critical malfunctions during the deployment. It's recommended that you let these ships recover before using them in combat. Yeah, fair enough. Let's go ahead and look at that on the thing here. So this is the ship in question. It needs 30 ordnance points to be returned to full readiness, and it will work on that on its own. We cannot control this right now. What we could do is tell it to suspend repairs, but we're okay with this. We know that its combat readiness is going to be very low. It's currently 1%. So yeah, it's quite a bit below, 20. We want it to be at 70. The maximum is 70. Okay, and that makes some sense, I guess. All the rest of these are at 70. So let's go ahead and switch out of there. And we know that that's a factor. This is a freighter. We will go ahead and explore it. Okay. You receive a preliminary assessment of a potential salvage operation. A salvage operation will be good, and then the recovery effectiveness does not. Yeah, so consider whether special measures might be taken to recover this ship. So I mentioned that we can, in the past, I mentioned we can use story points to restore some ships. That's what this would be. We would click that, and we can talk to the chief engineer to look at the report to make a decision. And he says we can spend a story point to restore it. We're not going to do that. We're going to cancel, and then we're going to consider our options. We're just going to do the salvage operation. We want the goods. We want the supplies that we can get out of this one. And there's not a whole lot of them. So we'll take that, and we will move on. That one is now gone. As you can see, more ships are appearing. Here is a frigate. Frigates are good. It's a combat ship for the most part. This one, too, might need special steps taken to make it workable. Looks like a missile ship. I think we're going to skip this one as well and do salvage on it. Not a whole lot, but something. So we'll take that, continue, and we're just going to go around the horn. Here's a destroyer. Well, destroyers are pretty good. This one we will pick up. So we're going to go ahead and say, yes, Chief, go take a look. And here's what he's telling us. And if we click it, notice it's going to take 21 supplies and it's going to use 40 crew. Well, that's kind of significant, but it's okay. We would really like to have a destroyer. So we're going to grab that. And there we go. Notice we gained a lot of experience for taking it. But it is now a part of our fleet. It is called the Auckland. Okay, and now we're going to go for this one. Oh, I like carrier. Well, we like carriers. And we're going to explore it. Let's take those special measures. What do you say, Chief? He says 162 crew to restore it. That was way more than the 100 she had mentioned, isn't it? And quite a bit of supply. But we're going to go ahead and do it. Carriers are pretty effective. So we're going to leave. What do we have left? A kite shuttle. These are very small ships, and there really isn't a reason not to take it. It will have almost no impact on our personnel. 3 people, 3 supplies. We'll go ahead and take that one. And I said we're going to go around the horn. Well, actually, yeah, we want to get the hammerhead first. Yeah, we'll come back to that one in a minute. Hammerhead Destroyer is another really good ship, and I think it's going to... Oh, we can recover it outright? But you'll notice we will only have 13 folks left after doing that, but that's okay. I think we're just going to salvage the other 2 ships that are out here. One is this shuttle, and we are just going to begin salvage operations, take what we can, and we're going to do the same with this frigate. We can explore it just to be sure. Consider recovery. Notice it puts us over on personnel, so we are not going to do that. We're going to cancel, and we will just do salvage. There we go. Taking all that, we have plenty of storage space for all of it, and we're going to continue. Well, that is all the ships that were out here. We could do a ping just to make sure, but that should do it. That was the Boneyard. We're going to go ahead and start moving inside the rings here. And accelerate and then slow down to get through there. We do not have a target selected, so that's why it kind of hung up on me there. So we're going to go, I did it again. Let's lay in a course. There we go. So that'll take us there. So we're still at below 40 in readiness. We knew this. We knew this. We're going to dismiss. And here we are. Okay, open the comm directory and let the station commander know where we are. A bunch of rust buckets, aren't they? But put some weapons on them. Get a proper refit done, and with a dedicated crew, they'll do all right. It's no worse than the pirates have got at any rate. True. Speaking of weapons, to make a long story short, they're going to give us some weapons that we can use. And so we're going to go ahead and go and learn how to arm those. To do that, we're going to go to Refit. And we're going to go do that here in just a second. But what it says is, I've already ordered local storage space to be assigned to you. That's good. They're giving us some storage space. And some suitable weapons are being transferred there, along with enough supplies to speedily bring the new ships back to full combat readiness. Well, that is fantastic, because that was going to be expensive. We can use them to outfit our ships, make sure we've got enough crew for a full complement on every ship, and then break the rogue miner defenses at the inner jump point. We're going to be mounting an attack here is what that is. Once this conversation is over, press R to open the refit screen. And we're going to do a V, and we're going to do auto fit. And that's a good way to start. The game is pretty good about outfitting your ships for you. And you have the stabilization. They do. They have the stabilization algorithm, and it's ready to go. If we fail, they'll have to send a security force, and it could get messy. It's good to know you've already worked out a plan B. Come now, it's not so grim. I have every expectation you'll succeed, or I wouldn't send you. But it is my responsibility as commander to plan for every eventuality and not rely on a miraculous savior. Yes, that's true. Now, about those miners, the 2 fleets guarding the jump point will aid each other if you engage one when the other is nearby. So it'll be easier fight if you manage to separate them first. If you can't, it should still be a fight you can win though. Yep, we should be able to win this fight. Copy that. I'll be back here when the job's done. We do want to make sure we have enough folks to man our ships, like it said, and we need to do some refitting. So if we come down here, we know that we were starting to run a little low on personnel. So we're going to shift click and I'm going to bring in another, 50. We have plenty of money, so that'll be fine. And 50 more of them. We still are paying ridiculous amounts for supplies, so we're gonna hold off for now on supplies, and we're going to hold off on selling weapons until after we do a refit. So let's confirm this, and we're gonna go to refit. This is the refit screen. When refitting a ship while docked at a space station, you can mount both weapons in your cargo hold and the ones available for purchase at the station. So basically we can just buy weapons by doing the refit, and it will kind of help us do that. Undoing the changes to a ship's loadout will refund the credits used, but only if you haven't navigated away from the refit screen. Yep. So we're going to dismiss. We will start with our ship. Our ship should be in really good shape, but we're going to go ahead and auto fit it. It has one outfit it's able to do called balanced, and it's already set up that way because when we click it, there is no cost change. So we'll confirm that, and we're basically just going to go through and do the same with all of the ships. We get to pick these. We can do an attack version of a carrier ship, which brings 2 heavy fighter wings, or we can do a strike, which brings 2 bomber wings. So that's going to be something to attack other ships. Or we can do support, which is interceptors. They're all good options. Attack is going to cost us 7,500 credits. Strike, nothing. Support, nothing. I kind of like the idea of interceptors. These will protect us is what it is. They'll help us protect the rest of the fleet. Let the rest of the fleet do some of the work. We also know now that we're going to have a second carrier down here. So we can do one as support and one as strike or attack. And that should be just fine. So we're going to go ahead and go with support with this one. Be no charge on that. So we'll confirm. These other steps here, by the way, oops, did it not? There we go. These other steps, you can work through those. They change the outfitting on the ship. If we hit confirm here, you'll notice there's like capacitors. That's how much energy and flux you have available to you. Vents is how fast it dissipates. And the one thing said something about blast doors. It reduces the amount of these that you can have, but it increases your armor just a little bit. Now this ship actually has compromised armor. We might be able to get rid of that in some cases, but I don't think we can right now. Moving on to the next ship in auto fitting. It has one layout. It's already in it. And here's that blast doors thing right here, by the way. You can also add reinforced bulkheads, and it tells you what they do if you want to read through those as you're playing. Randomized weapons and hull mods makes the loadout only loosely based on the goal variant. Well, that could be fun, but for now, we're just going to go play it straight up. And next, fighter bays. It has these mining laser drones. Let's see if we can get any kind of, well, it's frontier, so it looks like that's all our option is. A borer drone wing. We can use them to attack. They're just not very effective is what it really comes down to. So we'll go ahead and hold on to that. And as we scroll down here, we're going to see these are the ships that we picked up that we have to do some work on. The rest of these should be outfitted pretty well already. We do have some variants we can do if we want. Really only on the one ship so far. All right, so ordnance points, what does that mean? Well, these are the ordnance points that we were kind of talking about. This is the capacitors and the vents. Each one of those takes up space. Also putting weapons on will do the same. So we're going to hit auto fit and we're going to go with light. It will give it a basic loadout, harpoon missiles, Vulcan cannon, civilian grade hull, and a missile auto loader. It's going to cost us 312 credits to load it out that way. We'll take it. And you'll notice it's using all its points now. So it no longer has points left. This one, bigger ship, more points. This is one of the 2 destroyers. This is currently set up as a support destroyer. And that is this one. It would cost us a few bucks to replace a few things that are broken. We can also do a fighter support. I'm not sure I've done that before. That could be fun. Antimatter blaster. What do we have for, it's an interceptor wing. Okay, that could be good. So he has some weapons on him, but he'll have a wing to help like keep down the missiles from hitting us, things like that. We're going to confirm that. We have the light support carrier. This is the one where, if possible, he's missing an entire wing here. And we could add those in here as necessary. But first, let's go to auto fit. Yes, this one, if possible, we've got support. We could go to strike, or we could go to attack. Attack is fighter wings, Vulcan cannon, long-range missiles. This one is long-range missiles, machine guns, which double to protect from missiles, and bombers. Bombers will be effective on striking. I think we could probably do that. So we have the one that is going to be kind of more defense. This one will be more offense. And the heavy fighters, kind of a balance between things. Maybe that is a better way to go. Notice we will have 2 heavy fighter wings. Here is what that is. Let's go with that. Spend a little money on that one. We have this kite. This is that little bitty ship. And it can be an interceptor. It can be support. It can be standard. We're going to go with interceptor. It basically just changes the weapons that are on it. You'll notice it's machine guns and short range missiles. This probably has long range, medium range missiles. So it can do a little more damage from further out. Maybe we'll do that. Let's go with the standard. There's already that. And then finally, that hammerhead. Very good ship. We can do a balanced one. It's going to cost us about 1,000 to outload it that way. Same for overdriven. It's just going to be a difference in the weapons. This one uses harpoon missiles and a mortar, a couple of lasers and railguns. This one has torpedoes, heavy machine gun, and a chain gun. So it's more of a kinetic weapon, and that'll do a lot of damage against the hull. These energy weapons will be better against, well, that's actually, I've said that, but that actually does look like it's kinetic as well for the most part. And then finally, support. Annihilator rockets, heavy mauler, hypervelocity driver. We're going to go with overdriven. I think I like that idea. We'll take that one. And that is all of our ships. They are loaded out. This is their experience, by the way, these 3 bars. I don't know if that's really called out anywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I'm remembering that. I just don't know where I remember it from. But I believe this is like their experience level or their capability. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong there. I might be misremembering that. And we're going to go ahead and exit out of refit as best we can. And next up, we're going to go to the gate. Now, I will say this. I want to go ahead and take care of that battle, but it is possible to upload the algorithm into the gate without ever engaging the miners. So there's a couple of ways to do it. I think we probably want to see how combat works with more ships. We've seen it with 2 ships. Maybe seeing more of the fleet involved could be interesting. So we'll come back to that here in just a minute. But we're going to start heading out that way in a second. So let's come back here. Another couple of things we can do. Still only Mia here. I was hoping there might be a captain available that we could hire, but there isn't. We can go down. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the dockside bar. Might not be anything to do. Yeah, there's not. So we'll come back to that later. Military options. We sometimes have the ability to attack the station through military options, engage the orbital station and its defenders, launch a raid, consider an orbital bombardment. Those are options when you're at war with another faction. So something to consider. Okay. I think we're good to go. Let's get this battle over with. So we're going to come out here. We're going to fly out this way. Just going to set the target to there. Tab and get going. Now we're going to turn off the transponder. And watch this number here, the sensor profile. It went down by 1,000. So we are no longer as visible to others. As we're approaching, we're going to go dark, and now it's down to 360. They won't see us until we're right on top of them. We will see their pings where they're looking for us. There they are. We want to try to stay outside of that until we're ready to engage them. And they're right next to each other right now. I would prefer they break apart a little bit. So we're gonna give it some time. And see if they separate at all. So we're just gonna kind of, they may not. Looks like mostly small ships. I don't think they'll see us here. Man, they're still right on top of each other. So the other option is we could try to stealth in there while they're moving away from us and see if we can upload. Nope, they're probably going to see us soon. Yep, they turned around. Well, maybe not. Let's dart in there and at least take care of the mission. Stabilize the jump point. Done. We stabilized the jump point, and now they're separating, so that's good. Let's go after them. They are pirates after all. Now, I don't have... And when the circles touch, you're engaged. 3 ships versus our fleet. Well, I think we're in good shape here. We can maneuver to force a pitched battle. We can pursue them. And we can also ask our second in command to just mop up. Let's go ahead and take command of the action this time, though, and let's see how that works. So a much larger battle. Well, let's go ahead and include our stronger ships. We're going to include this one. We'll include our carriers and one of our destroyers. We'll do the Buffalo. We're going to deploy those. Projected deployment recovery will be 36 supplies. We should be okay with that. And here we go. So we're going to notice these are off the grid. That's because they are in reserve. They're not joining us just yet. They could join us, but not right now. And then we're going to hit this. There's the enemies. I want to hit this one first. He looks like the strongest. That kite's going to be fairly easy. And we could have individual targets by clicking them and then right-clicking on where you want them to, what you want them to go after. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to tab out of there. We're live, and I'm going to hit U to engage autopilot or disengage it on accident. So now it's re-enabled. I don't recall if there is a way to speed up time when you're in this mode. They're going after our fighters. We've got a steady stream on this guy. He's getting overwhelmed. You'll notice his flux level is very, very high. And he's going to start losing hull once that maxes out because there's really not much left he can do. There it goes. And he should start taking hull hits now. Well, there's a swarm of missiles and more ships coming after him. Once he starts going though. There we go. We're starting to see his hull go. The other one retreated. And that's going to roughly finish him off. That's unsustainable. There it is. If you're too close, you can take debris hits, by the way. That's something to note. The enemy fleet is defeated. So 1 was destroyed, 2 retreated. That's okay. We kind of thought that might happen. We're going to consider recovery. Well, they have a strike destroyer. That's an interesting ship. What would it take for us to claim it? It takes a few more crew than we actually have. and we would need to spend a story point to grab it, but that's a really nice ship. I think we'll go ahead and do it. We'll have to hire more crew when we get back. So let's recover that. And we recovered $92. Picking through the wreckage, almost nothing. So we'll take that and we'll get out of Dodge. Your fleet does not have enough personnel to fully crew all your ships. The result is reduced combat readiness. True. We knew that. We're only over by a couple. It shouldn't be too terribly bad. We're just going to head home for now. Maybe that other fleet comes after us, but we will dominate them. That's why they're staying away. And we can come back and hunt them down later if we choose. Yeah, they're moving the other way. They're not at all interested in engaging us. I don't blame them. So we're going to, whoops, I meant to turn that off. Sorry. Wrong buttons. There we go. And we're 2 days out. My bad, I hit a key on my keyboard. Almost there. Space travel is slow. Just ask the makers of 2001, A Space Odyssey. There it is. And we're going to go talk to the station commander again. Oh, and here's an officer that we could potentially hire. Let's do that real quick. So we're going to click on Reese here. And Reese, basically we talk with him. After a short wait, our connection request is accepted. Heard you might be looking to take on some help. Depends. What can you do? Well, they have ballistic mastery, so they're good with missiles, and they have ordnance expertise, which means that their flux dissipation per ordnance point spent is improved. Those are both good. We're going to offer to hire her. Doesn't mean we are hiring her. We're offering to hire her, and we get to see her rate. She wants $4,000 or credits up front and then $1,300 a month. That's acceptable. We're going to take that. Now we're going to talk to Mia. And there we have it. We just gained 10,000 credits for that. Improved hegemony relationships. So we're in really good shape there. We're at favorable now. And we need to deliver this information to another system. We need 110 units of fuel to get there, and we'll learn about that in the next episode. Real quick, though, we're also gaining distress call, and we'll talk about that. Let's go down here real quick. I want to see what our tax rate is if we sell off some of this stuff. It's still 30%, so I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't get lower as you improve your standing. I thought it did, though. There we go. And these are now normally priced. So we're going to buy them all. We pay $30,000 for that. I didn't think it would be that bad. 200 of them. Oh, I guess, yeah, 23,000. Never mind. That's true. That's a good point. So we're going to sell these things off. Oh, we should probably keep the Talon. I think those are fighters. It's like a light fighter. Yeah, we're going to hold on to those for now. We're going to sell these guys, and we'll sell these light weapons. They're pretty cheap. You kind of get what you pay for there. Let's buy 100 of these. So that's going to be shift over to 100. That'll cost us 12,000, but that's good. And then we want some additional crew. Do another 50 there. There we have it. So we're spending about 15,000, but that's okay. We're getting something out of it. And there we have it. All right. Well, the tutorial is not quite done yet, but we can take a break here and we'll pick up in the next episode. We will start to take the information to the other system. We'll learn a little bit about inter-system travel and how that works. And I do want to thank you for your time in joining me on this journey. Until next time, fair travels.